this review, we will be looking at arguably the most important character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. However, this review will be part of a larger series involving both Iron Man and Captain America, leading up to the release of Captain America Civil War on May 6th. Back before the Marvel Cinematic Universe was complete as it is now, you had movies like Blade, X-Men, Spider-Man, Daredevil, and Hulk. While these are all comic book movies, one could say that their popularity belonged to a small group of devout fans. Enter Iron Man, characterized in the comics as a playboy, heavy drinker, cocky personality, and rude most of the time. One would think that most people weren't looking for this movie to do as well as it did. In fact, almost everybody was wrong. It made $585.2 million. It is safe to say that without Robert Downey Jr., it would not have worked. Why do you think I say Robert Downey Jr. is the perfect Iron Man? 1. He embodies and looks just like Tony Stark from the comics. 2. Downey's real life has some parallels to Stark's in the comics. His past has included trouble with alcoholism and drug use. 3. His mannerisms and personality fit the description of Iron Man perfectly. 4. Love of character. Whenever you hear RDJ talk about Iron Man, he always has a smile on his face, and it seems he genuinely loves this character that we all know. We are first introduced to genius billionaire and playboy Tony Stark, who had inherited his father's company, Stark Industries. Stark is in war-torn Afghanistan with his friend and military liaison, Lieutenant Colonel James Rhodes, to test his newest and show off his newest Jericho missile. However, Stark's convoy is ambushed, and during this battle, Stark is critically wounded by one of his own rocket-propelled grenades. After being captured and imprisoned in a cave by the known terrorist group called the Ten Rings, a electromagnetic, or you could call it an earlier version of the arc reactor, it is grafted into his chest by fellow captive Yinsen to keep the shrapnel shell charge from reaching Stark's heart and killing him. During their time in the cave, Stark and Yinsen start to secretly build an early version of the Mach 1 over the course of several weeks. Although, after the Ten Rings discover their intentions, they attack the workshop. While the suit powers up, Yinsen sacrifices himself to allow Tony Stark to escape unharmed. After destroying the Ten Rings' weapons, he flies away but crashes in the desert and destroys the suit in the process. After being rescued by Rhodes, Stark has his first press conference since being kidnapped, and announces that its company will no longer manufacture weapons. By doing this, Obadiah Stane, who is Tony Stark's mentor and partner in his company, tells him he will be ruining his father's legacy, and that it would ruin Stark Industries. After seeing several montages of Stark improving his suit, he also builds a more powerful arc reactor for his chest. Pepper Potts places the original reactor inside a small glass showcase. Even though Stane requests details seeing as he becomes suspicious, Stark keeps the work to himself. While at a charity event where he was not expected to make an appearance, Stark is informed by reporter Christine Everhart that his company's weapons, including Jericho, the missile Stark had been working on before being kidnapped in Afghanistan, was recently delivered to the terrorist group the Ten Rings. Stark learns that it is being used to attack Yinsen's home village, Guatemala. At the party, Stark learns of Stan's plan to replace Stark as head of the company. For a short amount of time after saving the village, Stark is shot at by two F-22 Raptor fighter jets. In an effort to defuse the situation, Stark reveals his secret identity to Rhodes. In the meantime, the Ten Rings gather pieces of the Mach 1 prototype suit. Stane meets with them, subdues Raza the leader, and has the rest of the terrorist group killed. Stane, meanwhile, revamps the suit from the wreckage. Stark sends Potts to find out if any other weapons were delivered to the Ten Rings, due to his suspicions. Pepper Potts hacked into the company computer system in Stane's office. After discovering that Stane was supplying the 10 rings and hired them to kill Stark, Potts meets with Phil Coulson and informs him of Stane's activities. After trying to replicate Stark's arc reactor, Stane does not succeed, so Stane ambushes Stark at his home and takes his. Meanwhile, Potts and several S.H.I.E.L.D. agents try to arrest Stane for his crimes, but are unsuccessful. After donning his suit, Stane fights Stark in a long battle that ends with Stane falling into the exploding reactor, killing him instantly. The next day at a press conference, Stark admits to being Iron Man, and the whole world knows.
Nobody's gonna get me on another ride. So look at me now, I'm just making my pay. Don't try to push a let just get out of the way. 'Cause I'm mad. Yes, I'm mad. Well, I'm mad. Yes, I'm mad.
The reason why this movie is so significant is because it kicked off the Marvel Cinematic Universe as we know it today. If Iron Man had not been successful, more than likely movies like Thor, Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers, and Captain America would not have been made. So a lot of Marvel movies that we love owe it to Iron Man for all the heavy lifting that it did. With this video now coming to an end, let me know how you felt about this review. Give it a big thumbs up if you enjoyed. Bye guys.
I cannot lie, but I got that motherfucking look.